Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
BartonWoods.com. When I say I promise you, I'm gonna knock out the Gypsy King as well.
Dazn Productions.
How am I gonna let this little skinny spaghetti hitman make me?
BartonWoods.com.
Numbers don't lie, and I'm the number
I'm that guy. I'm the dog of the business.
When I stepped on the scene, I said I wanted this though. I said I wanted that though.
BartonWoods.com.
You know, so I'm still on a mission.
But I'm gonna chase his ass all the way up there.
I told him it's an easy fight to make.
Some of them like it, some of them don't. BartonWoods.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Call us the Bulls. Three-peat. We back with another one. Gervonta Tank Davis does 594,000 or peaks at 594,000 viewership. So is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Is he ready for pay-per-view after these numbers? What is your your opinion on this for sure? This is what we're talking about. The young Tank Davis. According to Boxing Scene in its report, Gervonta Davis drew the largest viewing audience of his developing career Saturday night. According to data from Nielsen, the Nielsen Research released Tuesday, Showtime's broadcast of Davis' second-round technical knockout of Ricardo Nunez was watched by 594,000 viewers at its peak. You know, their brief bout drew an average of 553,000, which this author is claiming is a good number. Now, how do we assess that? Are we just going solely off what I believe they're going off of this being Tank's best performance, or rather viewership? Not necessarily that it's a great viewership, right? So if you see here, this is by Keith Heidick. Title is Davis Nunez peaked at 594,000 viewers on Showtime's telecast. So those figures are represented a significant spike in viewership from Davis' previous performance on Showtime. That fight, a first-round knockout of Hugo Ruiz on February, produced a peak audience of 486,000, an average audience of 429. So he had about 100 and something bump. My question to you, is that 100 bump a good bump? Because what I'm thinking is, obviously he didn't do a million because there was no time, because he got the knockout over Nunez and Ruiz so quickly. But then obviously Keith Heidick thinks like me, and if you compare him to Deontay Wilder, who also got quick knockouts in the Dominic Brazil and in the Bermane-Stavern fight, Wilder had a combined peak audience of 990,000 watched versus Brazil live on Showtime, the linear channel, and its streaming service. Wilder and Brazil averaged 886,000. Now, is it an unfair comparison to put Wilder and Tank up against each other when Tank isn't a heavyweight? You know, it's a little bit different, right? Tank isn't a heavyweight. So the author goes on to say that 5 of Davis's past 6 fights have been broadcast by Showtime. The other 6 bouts, an 8-round knockout. Francisco Fonseca was part of Showtime's pay-per-view. Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor broadcast back in 2017. So my question to you guys is, to have 5-6 fights on Showtime, should he be known more? Should he be doing a million, right? Or is it the division? I'm trying to figure out, is he a star? Like, is he ready for pay-per-view? That's what really is up in question right now. And we're trying to just, get your opinion on that, because should he be doing a million on Showtime? And if he's not doing that million, should he just leave and go to Fox? is he not getting enough eyeballs on him to raise his profile the way that he would want? Are those numbers good is the question. And it seems like we lost Mike here. I have no clue what happened to him. I know they were doing some yard work over there, but I don't know. Maybe they knocked his internet out. But this is what we're talking right here. Gervonta Tank Davis averaging 594,000 peak viewership on Showtime. Is he ready for that pay-per-view that Mayweather is talking about? Are these numbers an indicator of that? Or was Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe and Showtime expecting higher? Again, Keith Idec seems to think this is good, but he could be looking at it from a growth perspective. You know, he could be looking at it like, all right, his last one did 400. This one did a little more. You know, he's growing. If there's an upbeat, maybe. But I think what we're missing is dance partner. Dance partner is what's going to maybe get him over the top. But with these numbers, I mean, $500,000, I don't know. You know, let's think about Thurman, right? Thurman went on pay-per-view. Even Earl went on pay-per-view after doing a consistent million, I want to believe, on television. Like, Thurman for sure has done multiple millions throughout his career on numerous fights. So it shows that there would be at least some interest in that. I don't think that Gervonta's demonstrated that, man. I don't think that he's demonstrated that he's pay-per-view worthy. It's hard to assess that if you don't have a demand for him. And I believe this was a free Showtime weekend. I think they tried to capitalize. So that extra bump could have came from that free week, which allows you to, you know, watch it for free. So is the Farmer fight the fight to take him over the top? Is that the fight that is going to get him into the millions? And because of these numbers, I mean, should it really be pay-per-view next? Maybe we do need that Gamboa fight to continue to raise this profile. Obviously, it's doing well, but we might need to raise the profile just a little bit in order to get where it is that we want to go in terms of Tank, especially if, you know, we're talking about pay-per-view. You got Ellerbe on numerous interviews with myself telling me how much of a star Tank is. Then you got Mayweather telling us that he is a star and should be one and on pay-per-view. So it's kind of like show and prove at this point, right? They have to show that, but I think that they need to continue to build Tank. These numbers say that. I'm not looking at these numbers like the writer and thinking this is good. I wanted to see 1 million. Like, unfortunately, that's the number that lets me know people care. 1 million. You know, there was a consistent million on HBO. Every time they put out a fight, it didn't even matter sometimes. It was 1 million, you know. And on Showtime, you know, 900,000, you know, 600,000. But if it was a good fight, it would do 1 point something. So we know that there's at least 1 million boxing fans out there that you just got to grab their attention. And if you can do more than that, like Crawford, like Keith, you know, like Earl, then it solidifies it. But Tank has the stars, the girlfriend, the cars, the jewelry, but the numbers aren't there yet. If 594,000 is your highest, I don't know that the numbers are there, but we can build off that. And maybe the Gamboa fight is that fight before you get into that pay-per-view. You do Gamboa, let Tevin Farmer go ahead and do Joseph Diaz Jr. and hope that the numbers come back better on the comeback. Let me go ahead and get out to these callers, man. We're going to wait for Mike. He had to restart.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Lets us know you enjoy us coming back with these reports. And if you're listening on Blog Talk, don't forget to press 1 time. The number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. And add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right, going out to my boomerang.
I ain't fuck all that, bro. Hold on, man. God damn, my fault, bro. Goddamn shit restarted and everything.
Oh, look who's here.
Look here, bro. Tank 594,000, bro. Like Ness was saying, I've been listening. I wanted to see 1 million because 1 million indicate to me that you can translate to pay-per-view. Mike, why do you say that? Deontay Wilder, for example, does 1 million regularly on Showtime. Both fights with Stavern and Brazil, the ones that ended early, did like 400,000 to 500,000 more than what Tank just did. So Wilder did Fury 325,000 on pay-per-view. Broner, another guy who consistently does 1 million on Showtime. Him and Pacquiao fought 400,000. Keith Thurman consistently does good numbers on Showtime, Fox, CBS, wherever he's at. His first pay-per-view did almost 500,000, maybe 600,000. So for Tank to get in that threshold and to get in that same light, because like Ness said, he already has the friends, the girlfriend, like people know him on social media. The 3-part Rise series that Showtime did like 3.5 million views, but those numbers are going to have to translate to the actual fight.
Now, is that total views on a 3-part series or just one?
I think total views.
Oh, total on all 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still good, I guess.
If Tank wants to get to that level, then he has to consistently put out those big numbers. And if he doesn't, I don't know if I take him to pay-per-view just yet. Maybe like Ness said, you give him a Gamboa fight. Maybe you even give him the Tevin fight all pay-per-view, because how much is Tevin demanding? How much money does Tevin need to fight Tank? I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be that. I mean, that extraordinary, but it may be. But I wouldn't throw Tank on pay-per-view just yet. I'd try to build him some more and start putting these fights back on Twitter. If he's a big social media guy, he's a big Twitter guy, he's a big IG guy. I remember Broner fighting Granados on Twitter. Why not put Tank on Twitter and see how that experiment goes? Like, you got to do something to like try to build that stardom.
Well, I mean, his followership is on IG. Now they got IG Live. Maybe they could cut a deal with IG. But again, that's like when Golden Boy tried Facebook. Yeah, it's got a bigger, internet reach and yada, 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 but it didn't mean shit. It didn't work out for them. It didn't translate to dollars, and the minute the network offered them a deal, they jumped ship because they need them dollars to promote. You need money to make money, you know what I mean?
I understand that, but I just think if they were consistent with it, because I've seen shows do well on Facebook, like the All in the Ball in the Family, some shit with the Vol Ball and the Ball family. Then you got Jada Pinkett Smith with her Red Table Talk that does good on Facebook. So if you're consistent in putting on good fights to where people want to go actually watch and spread the word, and not these Golden Boy Live fights that we don't know who the fuck is fighting, then you might not do good numbers. Ryan Garcia, he was on there, but did he fight anybody of name? Jojo Diaz, he was on there, did like 3 million views in like one day, but did he fight anybody of name? When he fights somebody of substance and have that dance partner, people will seek that shit out and try to find it.
Yeah, the thing is, if this isn't pay-per-view, Showtime can't afford to pay Tank and Tevin, because you know that the Dazn offer is coming in higher. Eddie's
Why
made
you think that?
Because Eddie's made that clear.
That they can outbid?
Bruh, you didn't hear Tank's, not Tank's, but Farmer's last post-fight? Like, Eddie's made numerous offers.
Yes, yeah. We know he made numerous offers, but I always thought that some of those offers wasn't up to par. I mean, some of the guys get a lot of money.
I mean, maybe them offers were right on the money. They think they got a hot commodity. If you ain't doing $1 million, how hot are you?
True. That is true. That is true.
But let's go out to these callers.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, right back at it with another one. PPV was good.
What up, Stainless?
Ness took my shit too.
Yeah.
I sure gonna come on. Yeah, nigga, back like the 90 Bulls, nigga, 2000 Lakers, nigga, 3-peat in this bitch. Ness took my shit though.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, I was hoping those numbers would be a little higher. I didn't think he'd do $1 million. I thought maybe 800,000 would be a good number for Tank. I think that the notoriety of the Mayweather name has done more for the popularity of Tank starting off. So it's more the casual person who knows him. I don't even think that they really watch. Then you also have to factor in that Gamboa Martinez fight. Like, to be honest, like, I'm going to watch because I'm a hardcore fan, but who thought that Gamboa was going to knock Martinez out in the second round? So, all of that time that was left over, and they fielded as much as they could, but I'm sure that fight started a lot sooner than plenty of people thought that it would. The whole broadcast was off by like, it was only like an hour and a half, and it was scheduled for like 2-3 hours. So, I think those are decent. I mean, it was pretty close to 600,000, but like I said, I would expect it 750, 800,000 myself. I don't think that he's pay-per-view worthy right now. It's going to take a couple more fights, and like you both have said, it's going to take a bigger name. Gamboa probably would do it. It's also going to take more activity from Tank. I mean, he's only fighting once a year right now. So, but that's all I got on that, man. As I always say, please do.
Going out to Machine Gun.
BoxingVoice.com.
You invited him to the ring? Why? Yo le invité a que subiera. Como decimos en México, hay que dejarnos de mamadas. ¡Viva México!
And like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around. BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, what up, TBV? Working hard today. Shout out Dazn DiBiase for the intro, man. With Gervonta, man, I think it's just time to move him to a different network, man. I don't think Showtime is really the thing anymore, And then, like, plus with this one, I'd blame it on the scheduling of all the other things that were happening on the same night. But really, it's just scheduling an opponent. And I feel like if he was on Fox, he would get promoted more, He got that Mayweather name behind him. They could have pushed his story a little more, like on the Inside PBC things that they do on Fox Sports, man. And I feel like if he would have had something more like that, just to put him out there on regular TV, he would have got more viewership, man. But it's just got to do with who he's fighting, because even the casuals are like, well, how fast do you think he's going to get him out of there? Because everybody knew that man wasn't going to last past 3 rounds. But really, I think it's just time to move Tank, because I think he's fought on regular TV. He's fought on, like, Spike before, right? At least once. I mean, you can move him to Fox. I feel like he'll get a bigger draw. No, I think he's been on there like once. They had PBC on there one time. Yeah, he fought on there one time, but they never put PBC back on there because the network changed to like Paramount or something. But I feel like if you move Tank to Fox, I think that's really for all these young guys. That's where it's at, I mean, like I figure you can just keep the heavyweights and the big boys on Showtime and then put everybody else on Fox, CBS, and you can push Tank's story better like that, just to the regular casual eye on regular TV, man. That would have sold, and they would have had at least $1 million right there. But that's my call, man.
I agree with him only because Tank's audience ain't buying Showtime.
Nah.
What percentage of them are buying the Showtime app and or watching it on a smart TV? Like, his audience is on Fox.
What percentage of them are like 24 and like younger? Like Tank is only 24 years old. You got to factor that in too. Like how many of 18, 19, 20-year-olds who know Tank because of Drake, because of a Little Baby, because of all the stars of his girlfriend? Like how many of those are actually going to go out and buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Majid in Orlando, talk to me.
What's going on, Majid?
Majid on Skype.
Yeah, man.
What up, champ?
Think that his numbers, it just was a network thing. You know, everybody paying attention to all the fighters that fight on Fox, no matter how good or bad they is. So I feel like his numbers just did what it did because it was the network. You put him on Fox, that boy gonna have crazy ass numbers. You know, we got that shit is basically free if you got basic cable and shit, opposed to having to pay for Showtime. You know, so I ain't taking nothing away from him. You know, as far as pay per view, shit, the people that want to see him there pay for it, but it got to be a better opponent. I like to see him again, Bold go at it. You know, just on a different network if we want him to build up. Other than that, man, they're gonna be running circles and have Eddie Hearns negotiating on some crazy shit with Tevin Farmer. But everybody need to like y'all videos, and that's all I got, man.
Majid, man,
And
thanks
another
for calling
thing
in.
about the whole thing is Showtime not having a consistent schedule of
Yeah, they
showing
losing
boxing.
people. They losing people because of that.
Exactly, not having
You start to think like, yo, should I even pay for this? I don't know
just
when it's
take my
gonna
goddamn
happen.
thought and run with it. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, you bring up good points, my man. That's what it is. It's like, do I even keep paying for this shit if all they doing is giving me Charlo versus Adams and Gervonta versus Hugo Nunez and Hugo D? Man, get the fuck out of here. But shout out to Gervonta. I've been saying 15,000. He did 14,686 people in the building last night. Sold out show. We did that shit together. I'm not taking credit. I'm giving it. You know what I mean? Going out to Brandon in Cincinnati.
What up, B?
Yo, what's up, man? I think these numbers are pretty good. You know, I mean, we all consider Danny Garcia a pretty big star. Him and Brandon Rios did like 550,000. And him and Porter, which was a unification we thought was going to be a big fight, only did like 100,000 more at like 690,000. So, I mean, these decent numbers. I mean, you got, like I said, we think Danny Garcia's a star, and we think Porter, you know, he's fighting on pay-per-view, and his numbers ain't never been great. I think, like Mel said, it just depends on who the guy's fighting. And the fact that he's getting them out of there so fast, is he getting the chance to even let the audience deal? I mean, that's the excuse we use for Wilder when he knocked guys out in the first round, and the numbers only like at 900,000 or so. So, no, I think they decent numbers for him.
Man,
you know, like I
love
said,
when you call in because you always make me go do some motherfucking digging. Now, Danny Garcia, we all know Danny's a big star, right? Like, Danny did how much on Showtime?
He said on
with Rios, he did like 550.
Nigga, as soon as they threw Danny ass on Fox, 1.4 against Granados. So the
and those are like those were the second worst Fox numbers. Those were the second worst Fox numbers in the history of the broadcast. They didn't consider those good ratings compared to what everybody else was doing. They said those were the second lowest on regular Fox.
I think Planning Uskatagi did like 889,000.
That was Fox Sports 1. I said on Fox.
Fox. Okay.
They said the Danny Garcia Granados numbers were like the second lowest that's ever been on regular Fox.
Good, though,
stop hating on Danny, yo, and you want Crawford to get a fight. Stop hating on Danny so much, yo.
No,
I ain't hating. I'm just using the numbers as comparable numbers.
What I'm saying is, as soon as Danny moved off Showtime and moved to Fox, you see 1,000,000 or 900,000 increase just by moving platforms. So if Tank does it, it may be even bigger.
Yo, what if they offer Pacquiao a Tank fight at 140?
You started some shit, nigga. Hey.
Pacquiao versus Tank 138. Super fight.
Now 140 is good, nigga.
Super fight. 138.
And that's how you make a pay-per-view star right there. Then Pacquiao spanked the fucking protege. You gotta call that big bro, right? Like big bro, come on.
And that's how he sell it. That's how Floyd sell it. Oh my God, we gotta change the title. That's how Floyd sell it. Like, beat my little bruh, cause you can't beat me. Maybe I'll fight you if you could get through my little bruh.
Hey man, Fox, Showtime, man, send us that check, cause we don't want to see goddamn Tank versus Pacquiao next year, and y'all don't pay no goddamn residuals.
They better become a Patreon, them motherfuckers. Al, know he be listening to this show, man. Yo, listen, I am out. I want to thank everybody that continues to tune in. Don't forget to share the show. Let a friend, tell a friend, let them all know we out here. We doing our thing. This is our third time. 3 things over here. We got 3 shows for you today on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, all that good shit. Oh, they said, boy, please, y'all trying to get Pat killed. Uh-oh, that's the show. That's the show. Floyd to give Tank Pacquiao fight, winner get Floyd. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, not winner get Floyd.
Ooh-wee. Nah, all right. Yo.
Hey, yeah, that's a conversation, man. It might pique some interest.
Nez GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Peace.
Follow me on IG at Grouse1911 or on Twitter at Grouse2312.